It's the dueling pianos. The musical directors from 2 Lutheran churches in the area are here, and we'll tell you how you can hear more at their concert coming up in just a little bit. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Live at 4.
It's Friday. I really want one of those jackets, too.
I know, don't they look great?
Snazzy.
This is the end of our 2 weeks together.
I know.
It's been fun.
Thank you for your help. Of course, always happy to do it.
Mark will be back with us on Monday, and we have a busy show coming up today, so let's get right to it. Here's what's making news on this Friday. The man found guilty of sexually assaulting a woman on Langdon Street is sentenced in Dane County Court.
And a group of Middleton High School students are pushing the school district to be better with their response to sexual assault and harassment claims.
And a pardon request by Brendan Dassey to Governor Tony Evers is denied. We'll share the details and the reaction from Dassey's attorney.
First, let's take a look outside. It really was a beautiful late December day. A lot of people taking advantage, it looks like.
Doesn't this make you nervous, though?
Yes, absolutely. Especially with weather words like mild, mild, and milder. Fishermen, fisher ladies, be careful out there. And let's turn it over to Chris Reese with a look at that sort of tropical we were saying at noon, Chris, forecast. Good thing you have the lights up.
Exactly. Good thing the lights are up. Indeed, here's the deal, folks. We have been seeing temperatures that made it into the 40s today, and I think we get even warmer as we go through the weekend and into early next week. Yeah, that ice on the lake is going to become a little bit thinner as we go through time. 39 is our temperature right now. We'll see them fall back through the 30s as we go through the rest of this afternoon. No precipitation is falling out of the sky, but we do have plenty of cloud cover over our area of Wisconsin. Temperature-wise, though, we topped out right around 41 for that high this afternoon. As we go forward through the weekend, I think we could see a day where 48 becomes the high temperature. At least a couple folks are going to flirt with 50. That's why the weather words were mild, mild, and milder. We'll be quiet through Christmas Eve, but I'll tell you what, there's a chance that winter does try to make at least a little comeback. That'll either be on Christmas Day or just after Christmas. So that's what we're going to be fine-tuning as we get into the weather segment coming up at about 4:30. Now, here's traffic right now. This is the Beltline at Park Street, and I have to say it certainly looks like a Friday. A lot of schools are letting out. This is the time that a lot of folks are getting ready to hit the road as we begin to travel for the holidays. Those biggest slowdowns right now are between Verona Road and John Nolan. You're going to see that especially as you work your way into the westbound direction, so do be aware of that. Downtown towards the Isthmus, you're not seeing a lot of those slowdowns other than East Johnson until you get towards University past Campus Drive and the UW Hospital going westbound closer towards Middleton as well. So pack your patience. It is Friday. We'll keep you up to date to weather and traffic as we go throughout the show.
All right. Thank you so much, Chris.
Thank you, Chris. First at 4, the man accused of sexually assaulting a UW-Madison graduate student in April of last year will spend 20 years in prison.
This is a disturbing case, and Eric Franke is here with more on today's sentencing. Eric.
That's right, Danica and Susan. Dorian Wade pleaded guilty to the brutal sexual assault of a total stranger. I want to be clear, this was near East Johnson and North Blair Streets in April of 2018. He pushed his victim into some bushes, forced her to the ground for a vicious assault. Police sifted through hours of surveillance video and hit a DNA match to track down Wade, who pleaded guilty in September. His attorney today asked for just 4 years in prison. Prosecutors had asked for 18, but because the judge felt Wade was less than honest in a letter to the judge prior to sentencing and didn't seem to admit his guilt, Wade got 20 years in prison plus 10 years extended supervision.
If I never even heard from this young woman, I would know what happened. And it wasn't what you said just a few weeks ago in a written statement. It's not what you're asking me to believe, and it's not what you've been telling your family. And you extend their suffering by not being truthful to them.
And as part of the sentence, Wade will be registered as a sex offender with the state. He'll undergo sex offender assessment and treatment as well. Judge McNamara pointing out the courage of the victim in this case, who described Wade's actions as evil, but was still strong enough to consider forgiveness and at the same time push through this trial to make sure Wade couldn't do this to anyone else in the future.
All right, Eric, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
New at 4, Brendan Dassey's attorney is responding after the governor said he will not be pardoned by the state. The board responsible for that decision says Dassey is ineligible for the pardon that he requested. Dassey's case, of course, got national attention with the Netflix series Making a Murderer. Dassey was 16 when he confessed to helping his uncle Stephen Avery murder photographer Teresa Halbach in Manitowoc County. Dassey is currently serving a life sentence, and the board cannot pardon someone until 5 years after a person's sentence is finished. Dassey's lawyer released a statement this afternoon saying if the case was reviewed based on its merits, Governor Evers would see it as a terrible miscarriage of justice.
A Madison man will spend the next 11 years in prison for robbing a bank and leading police on a high-speed chase. 40-year-old Jeffrey Parker robbed Summit Credit Union in Portage back in August. According to prosecutors, he zip-tied an employee's hands together during the robbery before he drove at speeds over 100 miles per hour to try and escape officials. Parker was sentenced to 10 years in prison for drug-related charges back in 2006. Current and former students in Middleton are demanding the school district improve its response to sexual assault and harassment claims.
Amanda Quintana is here now with more on their concerns and their demands. Amanda.
Yes, students voiced their criticisms during a walkout this morning. Speakers condemn the notion that boys will be boys, listing out a number of Title IX guidelines they feel the district is not following. Those include making sure no student has to share campus space with their abuser and implementing age-appropriate education on consent and sexual violence in schools.
It should never be the victim's job to have to come forward about still seeing their abuser's face in the hall every day, even after administration promised to resolve the issue.
Students also said the school doesn't talk about consent or where to go to make a report. The protest was postponed after a threat on Instagram, which forced administrators to cancel school last week. Speakers today say they also found pamphlets advertising the walkout torn up and thrown on the ground. A spokesperson with the Middleton Cross Plains School District says this was a student-led walkout, so the district has no response to anything that was specifically said at the event. He says the district has met with student leaders and will continue to have more meetings with those students after the winter break.
All right, Amanda, thank you for the update.
Thank you, Amanda. British prosecutors have formally charged the wife of an American diplomat with the death of a 19-year-old motorcyclist. Anne Secoulis is accused of causing a crash that killed 19-year-old Harry Dunn in August. Katherine Johnson reports from Washington.
The parents of Harry Dunn hugged Friday after speaking to the media, relieved the woman accused of hitting and killing their 19-year-old son has been formally charged.
We feel that we've taken a huge step.
Anne Secoulis faces a charge of causing death by dangerous driving. She was living at a British military base with her husband, a U.S. intelligence officer, when she allegedly hit and killed 19-year-old Dunn on his motorcycle in central England. Secoulis claimed diplomatic immunity after the car accident and left the UK.
We believe that the judicial system should take its course and that Mrs. Secoulis should have the opportunity of every defendant, and that is to a fair and dispassionate trial here in the United Kingdom.
Secoulis' attorney released a statement that says she's devastated and extends her deepest condolences to the family, but she's refusing to return to the country for what was, quote, a terrible but unintentional accident. In support of Secoulis, a U.S. State Department spokesman said, "We were disappointed by today's announcement and fear that it will not bring a resolution closer." Dunn's family still considers the charge a victory.
And I'm going to go and buy a Christmas tree and decorate it in green lights like so many of our supporters have done. And I never thought I'd buy a Christmas tree this year, so well done. Thank you.
If convicted, Secoulis could face up to 14 years in prison. Katherine Johnson, CBS News, Washington.
Prosecutors say with a formal charge now filed, they have started extradition proceedings, but it's up to the British government whether it will ultimately ask the U.S. to send Secoulis back.
There are new developments in the case of a missing Texas mother and her infant daughter. The mother of a missing woman, 33-year-old Heidi Broussard, confirms her daughter has been found dead. Broussard's mother says her granddaughter, 1-month-old Margot, is alive and in custody of Child Protective Services. Police found a body in the trunk of a car behind a home in Houston. Broussard and her daughter were reported missing last week after she was dropping her son off at his elementary school. Police have arrested one person and charged that suspect with 1 count of tampering with a corpse and 2 counts of kidnapping.
Boeing launched its new passenger spaceship, the Starliner, this morning, but things didn't go as planned during the vessel's first critical test. The Starliner spaceship blasted off aboard an Atlas V rocket this morning. The capsule was supposed to rendezvous with the International Space Station in a critical dress rehearsal ahead of next year's inaugural launch with astronauts. But that's not going to happen. NASA and Boeing say the Starliner went off course 31 minutes after launch.
The spacecraft separated from the launch vehicle. We did not get the orbital insertion burn that we were hoping for.
The Atlas rocket worked flawlessly, but a timing glitch in the Starliner's control system caused it to waste fuel and miss a critical rocket firing needed to reach the space station. NASA insists that had astronauts been aboard the Starliner's aborted mission, they would be safe.
Back in Dane County, children enrolled at the Playing Field are getting a new playground. The Playing Field is an early childhood education program that welcomes kids from all different types of backgrounds and economic situations. The assisted living community, Attic Angel, is donating money for that new playground. It will feature special equipment for kids with emotional and developmental needs. Work on the playground is expected to start in the spring. Still to come at 4, attention procrastinators, that includes me, you are running out of options to get your packages to arrive by Christmas.
And then a little music to get us in the spirit. The dueling pianos from Good Shepherd Lutheran Church and First Lutheran Church in Janesville are here. We'll have that when Live at 4 continues.
Marker? Yes. Stand by. All right, so Christmas is just days away, and if you are shipping presents, well, you're running out of time.
That's true. The race is on for Kimberly Brooks and other last-minute shoppers to see the gifts they purchased arrive on time. There are still options to get your packages delivered by Christmas. At the post office, you can use priority mail through tomorrow, but come Monday, December 23rd, the only option is Priority Mail Express, and that starts at $25. The FedEx two-day delivery option ends today, but the shipper has overnight options through the 23rd. For Amazon shoppers, the retailer is offering Prime members free delivery by Christmas.
Are these deadlines stressful for you?
Don't I look stressed?
You don't.
I am stressed.
Okay, so if this year feels more rushed than usual, well, there's a good reason for that. Thanksgiving came late this year, so the shopping season is 6 days shorter than it was last year. Another positive day on Wall Street to finish the week before Christmas. The Dow gained 77 points, the Nasdaq was up 37, and the S&P 500 was up 15. Musical directors at churches from Madison and Janesville are coming together this weekend to perform a concert of Christmas duets.
Jared Stellmacher from Good Shepherd Lutheran Church in Madison and Ben Johnston-Duray of First Lutheran Church in Janesville are here now joining us.
Welcome back, guys.
Gracing us with their jackets and their musical prowess.
You and I need these jackets.
I know,
You're so right.
They're so snazzy. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
So, Jared, this is the second year you guys have done this together, right? Tell us a little bit about the dueling pianos.
Well, we did this last year kind of as a whim, and people loved it so much. And I think during this time of Christmas where it's all about spreading peace and love and the Christmas message, what better way to do it than through the universal language of music.
And is this how it's set up, where both of you all are on the same piano in the performance as well? Because when we thought dueling pianos, we thought there'd be all sorts of instruments in here.
Sure, yeah.
So have you two been friends for a long time?
Well, we went to music director school together. I'm kidding. We did but we've been friends actually for several years now, and we got together in the premise that we wanted to have a great concert, but we also wanted to do good. So what we have done is all the proceeds from each of these concerts goes to benefit community outreaches in Madison on Saturday night at 7 p.m. and in Janesville at 3 p.m. on Sunday. So we've got great music, and it's a great cause as well.
Oh, that's wonderful. And your congregations must love this. Does it get a little competitive? Or?
Not at all.
Well, our music director is better than your music director. No, you work together. Yeah. And it's all Christmas music, right?
All Christmas, yep.
Okay, here's the details that we were just saying, so you can catch it tomorrow at Good Shepherd Lutheran Church in Madison at 7 o'clock and Sunday at First Lutheran Church in Janesville at 4 o'clock, and the concerts are free. Let's listen in. Shall we listen for a while?
Absolutely.
Take it away, guys.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
All right, take a look at this. A woman struggles to figure out why her outside lights aren't working. Judy is standing outside in the cold after changing a dead light bulb, wondering why the lights keep going out. Well, turns out it's all a prank. Gerald, there he is, purposefully turning the light switch on and off from inside their Canadian home, making her think they're broken every time she steps away from them. That is just mean.
It's funny and mean.
It is very mean. Poor thing. I wonder just how long she was out there for, though.
At least it's harmless.
Right, exactly. Okay,
Yep.
we have a cute alert. Cute alert. The baby's in the neonatal intensive care unit at SSM Health St. Mary's Hospital. They're getting a chance to celebrate the holidays.
That's right. All of the babies were dressed up like the Who's from Whoville. The costumes were made by members of the Stoughton dance team. Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway was also there to serve as the mayor of Whoville, handing out gifts to the families.
That's so sweet.
Boy, look at the hair on some of those babies, too. Oh, that's adorable.
What a nice little change of pace, probably for those parents, too.
Yeah.
That's good right there.
You're looking very festive this afternoon.
That's right. I'm ready for Christmas. I'll tell you what, having my first little round of some Christmas with my youth group kids tonight here in about an hour or so it's going to be a good time. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of snow in the Christmas forecast. I did, but that's all right. I'm not giving up hope just yet. That forecast is coming up after this. When it comes to the weather, especially as we go through this weekend and early next week, we are going to be mild, and we're getting even milder. In addition to that, we're going to be dry through at least Christmas Eve. But there's a chance that we start to see a more winter-like pattern return, either on Christmas Day or just after Christmas. Hold on to that. We'll touch on that. For now, high pressure down across the nation's midsection is sending those winds out of the south. That means the warmer air is going to be ushering its way into the upper Midwest. So look for things to turn milder for us as we go through time. In the meantime, though, we are dry. The only thing we've seen outside today is cloud cover here at times, but even some of the sunshine was able to filter through that cloud cover. So we have a clean sweep through all of Dane County. Cottage Grove, you're dry. Same for our friends down in Fitchburg and Mount Horeb. Let's work our way down towards Rock County. Beloit is dry. Brodhead, Evansville, everyone is going to be dry as we continue to go through tonight. Here's a live look outside right now. We're still seeing some of that cloud cover in the meantime. Temperatures topped out around 41. You know what our normal high is? 29 degrees. So we are well above average when it comes towards those temperatures. We started out at 19 degrees this morning. 39 is where we do sit right now. We do still have those winds coming out of the south at 8 miles per hour. As long as we keep that south wind around, folks, I think we are going to stay on a milder note. Janesville at 43 right now. Mineral Point at 41. We're starting to see some of those cooler temperatures, though, filter on back in. 36 is our temperature in the Dells right now. Let's push this forward through time. Overnight tonight, we're going to see those lows fall into the 20s. We'll see more 40s as we go through Sunday or Saturday, and even into Sunday. We're going to see more and more in the way of those 40s. In fact, highs by Sunday, get this, close to 50 degrees, just 2 degrees away. I think some folks might actually make it up towards 50 as we get to Sunday. That'll be interesting to watch. But the reason for that is our upper air pattern. We have what's known as a ridge developing. This is when you have warmer temperatures really kind of spreading in through the nation's midsection at this point. In the meantime, this dip in the jet stream begins to develop back along the western coast. Watch that. That's what I think starts to move in as we get just beyond Christmas. Here we are on Christmas Day now, and here's that colder air starting to work its way on in, and I think that'll be kind of the pattern as we shape up into the new year. In the meantime, as I mentioned, we are dry, but I'm paying attention to Christmas Day in terms of a weak little system trying to come through here that might bring a chance of some drizzle or flurries that might actually turn over to a period of some light snow for the day after Christmas. Remember I said Christmas Day or just after Christmas is that period that I think we start to see a little bit more of a wintry pattern. In fact, this same model, here we are during the last weekend of 2019, develops a system that could bring rain over to snow as we go from Saturday into Sunday. So there's plenty of time. There's more than a week that we get to track that system, but of course we're going to be watching that one closely. Dry weather sticks around tonight. Look for a low 28 degrees. Let's move forward into tomorrow, your Saturday. Another beautiful day. Temperatures right around 43, partly sunny, mild again, milder for Sunday with that temperature right around 48. But like I said, we're watching Christmas and beyond for that pattern to come back at least somewhat closer to what the weather should be for this time of the year in the upper Midwest. Right now, it truly feels more like November, but some more December-like weather is on the way.
Yeah, there's a lot more winter to come.
There really is.
And I mean,
anything.
A lot of people want a white Christmas like you, but for traveling and stuff, this is so much easier.
It's gonna be fairly fantastic for most of the country.
Mark brought the warmth back with him.
I know,
It followed him all the way back.
Way to go, Mark.
Chris, thank you.
My pleasure.
So we will be keeping you up to date on the weekend weather on the morning show over the weekend
That's
as
right.
well.
And then stay tuned on Sunday for CBS Sunday Morning.
Jane Pauley is with us. Happy holidays, Jane.
Well, thank you, Danica. Good morning to you.
Do you have any presents for our viewers this weekend?
We've got Jennifer Lopez.
It's
And by the way, what do you think?
I think
Jennifer
that's a good
Lopez,
one.
Oscar contender? Maybe. 25 years ago, J-Lo started out as a backup dancer. Today, a sometimes underrated superstar, she's getting rave reviews for her performance in Hustlers. And in February, she'll step onto the biggest stage in the world, the Super Bowl halftime show. Tony DeCopel visits with Lopez at the Miami home she shares with her fiancé, former baseball star Alex Rodriguez. Here's a clip for you.
Do you still feel like you have something to prove? doubters to prove wrong?
Not as much anymore. No, I did before. I feel like people realize I've been around a while and that I've been doing this a while and I've worked really hard, and they're kind of giving me credit for that and for all of the things that I do, and that's really nice.
And that's the kind of credit, by the way, an actress lives for. For her role in Hustlers, Lopez has already been nominated for a Screen Actors Guild Award and a Golden Globe. But Danica, an Oscar nomination, that would be really nice.
Yeah, no kidding, no kidding. What else is going on this weekend?
Okay, well, what would be the greatest holiday song of all time? Everyone has their favorites, but maybe White Christmas? We'll revisit the incredible life of its composer, Irving Berlin. And for Hanukkah, we'll cook up some delicious latkes. And our pal Jim Gaffigan will spread a little of his kind of holiday cheer, shall we say. That and a whole lot more coming up on Sunday. See you then.
It is a holiday-packed show, of course. We will see ya. And I hope you have a great holiday as well.
And you too. Thank you, Danica.
There's a live picture at the Henry Vilas Zoo. I'm trying to see, is that the polar bear?
Oh yeah, he's pacing.
Yeah, he's saying, where's my snow?
Exactly, where's my cold, where's my snow?
It's 4:39 right now. If you're just joining us on Live at 4, here's an update on the headlines on this Friday.
The man found guilty or found guilty of sexually assaulting a stranger on Madison's Johnson and downtown on Johnson Street has been sentenced to 20 years in prison and 10 years of extended supervision. Dorian Wade pled guilty to sexually assaulting that woman in April of last year.
Governor Evers denies a pardon request from Brendan Dassey. Officials with Evers' advisory board say Dassey is ineligible for a pardon. The board requires 5 years to pass after the completion of the sentence of a convicted person if they want to be pardoned. Dassey is serving a life sentence after he confessed that he helped his uncle Stephen Avery murder Teresa Halbach in Manitowoc County in 2005. He later said he made it all up. Dassey and Avery became the center of the Netflix series Making a Murderer. In a statement this afternoon, Dassey's lawyer says if the case was reviewed based on its merits, Governor Evers would see that the case is a terrible miscarriage of justice.
Madison police are asking for any information after a man showed up at the hospital last night with a gunshot wound. Officers say that man did survive the injuries, but they're still trying to figure out what happened.
Current and former students at Middleton High School gathered today demanding that the school district improve its response to sexual assault and harassment claims. Organizers condemned the notion that, quote, boys will be boys, and listed several reasons why they feel the district is not following Title IX. Well, still to come tonight on Live at 4, we'll go backstage with Bruno at the Palace Theater in Wisconsin Dells.
Yeah, Michael Bruno is going to show us what it takes to put on dinner and a show as we go behind the scenes of a holly jolly Christmas when Live at 4 continues.
We're consistent.
Happy Friday. Welcome to the holidays. Let's work on getting everyone home today. Here's what you can expect in terms of traffic. This is the Beltline at Park Street right now. Of course, we're seeing those slowdowns in both directions on this Friday, especially as you begin to approach Verona Road in the westbound direction, and then from Stoughton Road all the way over towards about Todd Drive. We are certainly seeing those slowdowns as slow as 17 miles per hour, some spots 16 miles per hour, and some additional spots as well. We're seeing them as you work your way onto the Isthmus as well, right around Capitol Square, and then as you begin to hit University, Regent Street, and Mineral Point. Also, so here are the drive times right now. The slowest speed currently, the Beltline eastbound from Verona Road to John Nolan. That's taking you about 15 minutes. University Avenue to Verona Road, that's going to take you just under 10 minutes.
So much. An 8-year-old is the highest earning YouTuber of the year, raking in, take a guess here, $26 million in 2019. Did I mention that he is 8 years old? 8. Forbes says Ryan KG has amassed almost 23 million subscribers on the Ryan's World channel. He started unboxing toys on camera when he was just 3 and has since expanded his content to include experiments and educational topics. According to Variety, his production company employs 26 people.
Yeah.
We are doing something wrong, Danica.
I know, right? I think the wrong medium, maybe, at the very least.
Well, if you have attended a dinner theater production, you know you are in for a night of food and entertainment.
But, of course, it takes some juggling to make sure that combination of the meal on your table and the entertainment on stage is a memorable one. Michael Bruno goes backstage at the Palace Theater in the Dells as they present the memorable holiday meal and the sounds of the season in a holly jolly Christmas.
Happy holiday, happy holiday. Come merry bells, keep ringing, may your every wish come true.
Santa Claus.
It's me. So, Santa, tell me a little bit about the show that you're doing here about Holly Jolly Christmas.
We are doing Holly Jolly Christmas 2. We did the show here last year, and it was such a grand success, we decided to return with a brand new version of the show, new songs, new dances, a brand new cast. Of course, myself and Mrs. Claus are returning to host the event, and it has been a wonderful success this year as well.
Holly Jolly Christmas is the best time of the year. I don't know if there'll be snow, but have a cup of cheer.
We're here today in the heart and soul, or the meat and potatoes of the Palace Dinner Theater, with executive chef, Chef Anthony Teasdale. He's going to show what goes on behind the scenes before the show starts. Hi, Chef.
Hi, how are you doing?
Today.
Absolutely.
Let's go and see what's happening.
For sure, absolutely. Let's go. A lot of timing to make sure everything's done on time, make sure everything's all coming out hot, all done at the exact same time to serve our customers. So, and this is our plating of our main meal, of our Holly Jolly meal, our chicken cordon bleu. Yeah, that's a lot that goes into it. Like I said, from the front of the house to the back of the house, from the management team to the box office to our food and beverage department. We're all on the same page every day. It's a great communicational system. And we all work together to make sure we give our customers the best possible experience possible here at the Palace Theater. Today with our Holly Jolly meal, we have a chicken cordon bleu, accompanied by some apple stuffing, some roasted sweet potatoes, and also some a double color haircut vert blend, which is green beans, yellow beans, and a little red onion in there. Then also our customers have the opportunity to upgrade if they'd like. We have a couple different options here. This is a 12-ounce hand-cut ribeye. We also have a garlic shrimp scampi and a blackened salmon. The sides are all the same. They come with the dinner. The proteins are just a couple bucks extra. If somebody doesn't like the chicken cordon bleu, they're always welcome to upgrade.
And then tell me about the amazing upgraded desserts you have here.
The amazing upgraded desserts that everybody loves. This is the crowd favorite right here. This is our chocolate towering cake. It serves about 3 to 4 people, probably.
Happy holiday.
This is our carrot cake.
Happy holiday.
And then we also change it up a little bit and do a dessert of the day. And right now, we have a white chocolate blueberry cobbler cheesecake.
Wow.
Michael.
So you hated the food,
I just really couldn't eat another bite.
Yeah.
Really, Chef Tony does an amazing job with the food there. It's so delicious.
And they serve sometimes up to 800 people, right?
Yeah, because that place holds a lot of people. So sometimes that food is coming out of there, like just crazy how they. And it's always fresh. It's always warm. And it's always really delicious.
And that's the key right there, because like catering gigs like that, I just can't imagine serving 800 at once potentially.
I know.
Yeah.
It is quite amazing. The assembly line they have going back there, it's really, really efficient.
The show looks great too.
The show is lots of fun. All singing and dancing, all the Christmas carols, and it's a really, really lovely, lovely production.
And then there's a special children's production
That's
coming
right.
up tomorrow,
Unfortunately, we ran out of time, but they're also doing a Charlie Brown Christmas tomorrow at 10 o'clock. And it's the wonderful live version of the Charlie Brown Christmas special.
Oh, that's like my favorite Christmas movie or
really
show.
Wonderful. So unfortunately, we didn't get time to put the footage in there, but they are doing one more show tomorrow.
Well, that's good to know. And you said 10 a.m.?
10 a.m.
Just for the kiddos?
It's a holly jolly Christmas and a Charlie Brown Christmas at the Palace Theater in Wisconsin Dells. Boy, what a great show for the whole family.
It is.
Yeah. Get you in the spirit. It runs through December 29th. Now, what are you coming up with next week?
Next week, it's going to be Alice in Pantoland at the Bartell Theater. So it's the British Panto of Alice in Wonderland with a few updated twists in it.
Maybe you can bring your reindeer horns back.
I have a feeling that would just fit right into something and just mesh everything together. A little Christmas, a little Alice in Wonderland. You never know.
Thank you, Michael.
You're welcome.
We'll see you next week.
Happy holidays.
You
as well.
We'll be right back.
Pretty roll playback.
Quiet, clear, and a little warm for the weekend.
That's right. In fact, our overnight low tonight is going to be close to where our average high should be. We're dropping down to 28. Our normal high for this time of the year is 28. So, take it or leave it. That's certainly what the weather is going to be. As we head into tomorrow, we'll see some sunshine, perhaps some clouds at times. Look for temperatures topping out around 43. We'll be close to 50 by Sunday.
Whew.
Good stuff.
I
Merry
know.
Christmas, everyone.
If we can't have snow, we might as well have
Exactly.
the heat.
You're right.
I'm not going to complain.
All right,
Thanks, Chris.
thank you, Chris. Here's what's coming up Monday on Live at 4. We'll get some vegan holiday cooking ideas from Chef Lauren Montalbano.
And our Will Loper tells us what he thinks of the much-anticipated latest addition to the Star Wars saga. We're back after this.